So in July, I posted a video about lifting my Hiace with a JDM Off-road lift kit, a 2-inch lift kit. And this is the van, looks pretty good. I kind of wanted to give an update video 4 months later, talking about things that I had noticed. One, we do have some rubbing. So one, you can kind of see on the sway bar here, got some, whenever the wheels are turned in, I'm trying to get in there, you get a little bit of rubbing on the sway bar. That's on both sides. And then on the other side, I'll come over here since the wheels are turned. On the front side, it hits this little frame area right here. So right here, it kind of rubs. You can see the metal is pretty clean right there. So that could be addressed pretty easily. So you got a steering stop right here, and there's one on the other side. So you can adjust those out to keep the wheel from coming in and hitting this and the sway bar on the back side. However, you will lose some turning radius. Another thing that we have kind of more on this side is the tire is rubbing on the metal. So you could take a little sledge, kind of beat that in to give it a little more clearance. Oh, hey Boulder. Get a little more clearance, and then also the mud flap, the inner mud flap is rubbed. So you could either take the mud flap off, or you could trim it a little bit, and that would fix that. Now keep in mind, I am running a larger tire and wheel. I'm running a 29-inch tire. This is a 235/70 R16. So if you're running the stock 15-inch wheels and you're wanting to have this size tire, you'd be running like a 235/75 R15. Or if you're running 17-inch wheels, it'd be 235/65 R17. And it'd be the same kind of overall diameter of tire, like about a 29-inch tire. The same width, 235 millimeters. And then depending on what wheels you're running, the offset can affect how this rubs as well. This offset is pretty similar to the offset of the original steel wheels. So the more positive offset that you have, less like you're gonna have rubbing here in the body mount area or in the fender well, but you could have some clearance issues with your upper ball joint and upper A-arm. So it's kind of a fine line of trying to figure out your wheel size. So that's my experience with this wheel. This is a wheel off of a 2nd generation Tacoma, like from a TRD Off-road. And I like them, they fit well. I think they look decent, but I do a little bit of rubbing right there. I also had a little bit of rubbing up front. So I had to trim this little step pad, and then I also kind of massaged this this edge of this body back. I did it on both this left and right side of the van because it was sticking out pretty good and it was hitting the tire, so I had to massage that back. Another improvement I did was replace the front bump stops with these low profile bump stops to get a little bit of clearance between the upper control arm and the bump stop. So the stock bump stop is really tall. And with the original bump stops, the A-arm in its current position would be resting on it. So replacing this with a shorter bump stop allows a little bit of down travel. I'll have a part number in the description so you know how to get them. They're pretty inexpensive. Another thing to consider when lifting these vans is your drive line. So in the back with the solid axle, when we lift it 2 to 3 inches, the angle of your drive shaft changes. And your U-joints have been used to moving in a certain range of motion, and now with the extra angle, they're moving back and forth more than they used to be. And so if there's a little bit of wear in the U-joints, then you might get some driveline noise. And so I had a little bit of that, but my U-joints were tight, and these are also the original U-joints, which from the factory do not have grease fittings. But I did have a bad rear engine mount or transmission mount. So that mount right there in the middle, that bolt sticking out, it was damaged, and my transmission was hanging down low and not centered in the chassis. And so it was causing some driveline vibration since we had some changes to the geometry. So anyways, I got that replaced and that took care of my vibrations. Overall, I'm pretty happy with the van. I'm still pretty happy with the lift. It drives really nice, real smooth, feels really good. It turns heads everywhere you go. Everyone's asking about this van. Anyway, don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe to the channel for more Hiace content, because it's good for you.